Hey guys, welcome to part 6 of learning how to build a course, and today we're going to go through slides. First of all, I'm using a program called beautiful.ai, which I've done a video on and I'm probably going to do a review on soon. I absolutely love this. I kind of came across it. It's free at the moment. I think it's absolutely outstanding, but it also highlights a very important point. You shouldn't use new tools in your business unless you are going to use that new tool. All too often, we have a lot of distractions come up and products and new plugins and sign-ups and bonuses and lifetime deals and stuff that we end up not using. The reality is this came at just the right time. I was perfectly fine using PowerPoint, frankly, and I would have continued to use that, but this came up and it said, hey, try using a presentation, try creating a presentation. So I figured, why not give it a shot? I've now jumped into it and I absolutely love it. So I'm going to see if I can build the whole course in beautiful.ai. Anyway, today what we're going to be talking about is the slides for the course. It's going to be broken up into two sections. It'll probably still be only one video. First of all, there's the overall template, and also I just want to show you what a finished slide presentation looks like for one particular lesson. If you remember, if we head over to my Quip document where I've got all of my lessons planned out. Here we go. Here. Each lesson has a series of topics, and each topic is going to have a series of slides. Now, I've already built out the framework, the overall framework. So this is lesson 1, for example, truths of running any business. And each topic from 0 through to 7 has a framework. So topic 0, the introduction, is pretty basic, but each framework basically has promise, why now, why this is important, 3 or 4 or 5 learning points, an objection, a consequence, homework, recap, and then sign off. I've built that slide template into Beautiful AI, and I want to show you the the format that we've got here. Let me jump into organize first. You can see this is how simple it is, right? There's not a lot of work here at all. There's a few variations that I'll go through and I'll show you the final version to give you an example of what that looks like. What I think is most important is to know that your slides are not there for you to present and speak off. There is a big difference between a video sales letter and a slide presentation. I do a lot of webinars, I do a lot of presentations. This is the format that we're going to use. These slides here would probably take about 10-15 minutes to go through, which is fine because I'm just going to copy that. This is one topic, and again, I'll go into more depth. I'm not going to put so much content inside these that it'll just be me reading off the slides, because that's kind of dull for 6, 7, 8 hours worth of content. What's going to happen is the slide will come up, be a prompt. I'll continue talking to the camera. The setup that I'll have the mic in front of me and I'll talk into the camera like this, as if I'm talking to them. And then occasionally we'll switch it in with other views, but also a lot of the time on this particular course, we'll also do live screen shares. So I might go over a particular worksheet, for example, the homework. I might go over the worksheet in front of them and just say, hey, this is your worksheet, this is your download. The idea is it's not just me talking off the slide. So these are more prompts, almost like chapter titles or headers, that I want to go through. So as you can see, these are the learning points here. And I'm going to jump into this one. The first one we're going to have is the lesson name and the lesson number. And down the bottom, I've got what the name of the course is, the name of the business. This should just be consistent. This will be at the start of every single presentation, and you'll see how much that repeats all the way through. This will probably be on the screen for 2 seconds, and then this one will be on the screen for 2 seconds with a bit of background music or like some brand music. So 5 seconds in total, maybe 2.5 seconds a piece. Then we have the topic title. So the lesson title slide, even though this will be the same for every single lesson, for all of the topics, because obviously it's within the same lesson, we will show that at the start of each lesson as well, just to continue reminding them. And the overall name of the course is just down here. Then we move into the topic title and the topic number as well. And then I'll jump into the promise. Now the promise will come up on screen. I'll say, hey guys, thanks for joining me on this next video. In fact, one thing I do really want to work on, hold on. That's okay. One thing I do really want to work on is not having what we call like filler intro, where it goes like, hey, hey guys, thanks for joining me, because a lot of these videos are going to be sequential. People are going to come through them multiple times. So I don't want to waste time I'm basically going to go straight into this and say, and if you look at the script, in this video, I'm going to teach you the fundamental truths of running a business, or how to relinquish control for your business, or how to scale your business infinitely. And it might not need any more than that. It might not need any more than that introduction sentence. I might not even need to cut away from the slide, but we'll see. We then have a slide on why now. Again, this is pretty basic and the same. Each time the format will be relatively the same. Where more variety comes in is in the learning points later on. We then have a little agenda where I outline the learning points, kind of the 3 to 5 learning points that we'll go through. This is a placeholder slide where I'll then talk through the different learning points, and that's where this took the most amount of time came from the learning points, because I had to kind of figure out what kind of slides make the most sense, but I had to keep reminding myself that it's only a prompt. It's not the whole load of the context. It's content. It's just designed to be a prompt and to help people visualize things. We then have an objection, and again, this is the format that I'm going to be using. This I've already changed, so I might change this now to what it is again. In fact, this will give you a good bit of a demonstration on how we can do this with beautiful.ai. I absolutely love this. So this is a consequence. And then I'm going to add a cell. And I'm going to change this as well, and it's going to be a caption. And then that'll be an image there. I can come back and delete this, because what I'm going to do is obviously clone all of these. I'll select all of them, clone them, and then that'll be the slide deck basically. Thing to do, this changed as well slightly, so that's none. And then a recap. So the homework, is the thing to do is I'll go through quickly the worksheet, what it is that they need to do. Most of the time the worksheets are prompts based off the slides. Also, sometimes I will literally just be screen sharing the worksheet and going through that worksheet with people, depending on the learning point. Sometimes it's important to give a bit of context and some frame around that, but I'll be teaching people to do that. And this will be the point where I then say, right, what you need to do, the homework is to download the worksheet. Next up, I'll be giving a recap. So this is the thing of tell them what you're going to tell them what you're telling them, and then tell them what you told them. So this is just recapping the main bullet points. And then finally I'll say in the next lesson or in the next topic, we'll be talking about X, Y, Z. So let's give you an example. I finished the first lesson. This literally took me all day. Lesson 1, truths of running any business. And I'm very impressed with Beautiful AI's ability to organize all of this and still present it. Because in this slide I've got 103 slides, and this is probably the smallest one as well. So we'll put beautiful.ai through its paces. And you can see all the slides here, but there's a bit of a pattern, right? So just like before, in fact, I'll jump forward a few because the introduction one isn't very good. Here's the introduction slide to the lesson. As always, we have the same lesson slide at the top. Then we have the topic slide, so topic number 1. I then say with a promise, so I'm going to teach you what you're going to learn at the end of this lesson, at the end of this topic, sorry. I then go into a why now, like why is this important now? Why do we have to do it? Agenda of the learning points, slide for the learning point, slide for the learning point, slide for the learning point, an objection. This is the consequences, bit of homework, a recap, and then I say up next we'll be doing the 3 laws of scale, and then it goes back to this slide. So again, it's just an intro, and we'll probably have a bit of like my music behind it, just going, for 2.5 seconds, and then 2.5 seconds on 3 laws of scale, and then keep moving through that. Something that I'm a big fan of, again, with Beautiful AI is the use of images. So it's just a prompt. It's about saying, I'm going to teach you how to grow the business. You'll learn how to grow or resent the business, for example, and it's really easy to just be able to slam in an image there, adjust it, play around with it, make sure the text is overlaid with it. I'll probably go into more depth on that in the actual review. But yeah, this is pretty much our slide template. You can see it's very, very simple. It's very, very high level. It's all about understanding that it's prompts, because I'm going to be talking to camera. So we're going to have a couple of cameras set up and they're going to film me, and the slides are going to be like prompts that I run through, as opposed to me just talking from the slides in more of a webinar format. This is going to be a course, so I want to talk to the camera, talk to whoever's watching, and the prompts will come up, and then it will be me talking through. And if it's like a 3-minute speech, then yeah, I'll probably cut the slide in every once in a while. But yeah, apart from that, that's pretty much our slide layout. So let me know in the comments below if that was useful. I'll try and give access I think I can give access to this like slide layout. I think I can like share it. So I'll try and put the link below for anyone who's interested in going through that. But in the meantime, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Keep building those courses.